Please welcome Victoria Sayeg and Moonstone.
If I ever get murdered, I hope they don't use my driver's license picture in the papers like they did for my aunt. They could have asked me for a better one, and I could have given them photos like the one where she's playing pool in the 70s, laughing, her hair an ocean of waves, or the one of her last year in that deep red sweater, sitting on my grandma's couch next to the man that would kill her in the desert come January. When she went missing, I could already feel the earth slouching with the cold weight of her body, but I held on to hope. I'd hoped that her son, my cousin, was telling the truth when he told police officers she'd traveled to California, penniless, incommunicado, but I'd been on enough eerie, long, moonlit walks with my cousin to know that it's hard to get to California when you're dead. They found her body in the backyard of the small tin trailer she'd shared with her Bible, her son, and all the voices in his head. My cousin was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia in the 80s when I was 2 years old and living with him and his mother. He had episodes, major ones, and my dad moved my mom and me to safety in an empty apartment whose address we told to no one. My cousin was institutionalized for a bit, but medicated and released, so I grew to know him as a harmless man, kind, thoughtful, gentle, yet emotionally frozen somewhere around his 14th birthday, though his age, of course, had marched into 30s and 40s and 45. I have drawers full of cards he's written me in pencil and memories of spaghetti cooking and cigarette smoking and Judge Judy watching. We always thought she looked like our grandma. It's amazing how things aren't always how they appear. I found out how he killed her through the internet on my cell phone as I walked through a farmer's market and ate olives. The media was all over the story before my family was provided with any details whatsoever. The headlines included graphic, insensitive descriptions of how he'd done it and why. His picture was everywhere, that same face that looked down at me while I laid in his arms as a small, fragile, defenseless, sleeping baby. The whole world commented about mental illness being fake and blamed drugs and joked at my family's expense. I just sat down in the middle of everything and cried into my bag of organic carrots, and people just walked along smiling, and nothing was real because reality had completely abandoned me. You see, the details of the explicit violence and gore of the murder, combined with the element of insanity, barreled through doors in my mind I had never even knocked on. The confusion of having someone you love murder someone you love because they thought it was the right thing to do only left me unable to differentiate my cousin's reality from actual reality, my own cognitive thinking from insanity, truth from fiction, and voices from natural internal dialogue. Fear swallowed me whole and spit me back out, blinded and upside down. I was infected with images of crime scene photos I'd never even seen, and completely unable to eat or breathe or sleep or move or talk. All I could do was be deeply, deeply afraid. Okay, I don't know why I ended up at a small store that describes itself as a psychic, metaphysical, pagan book and gift shop. But I did. I was searching for emotional tranquility, rest, and faith, and this is where I went for it. I walked directly up to a glass counter, and a woman with long gray hair asked how she could help me, and I told her, vacantly, that my cousin has just killed my aunt. And she looked at me and said, "Oh, sweetie, we will find you peace." And she pulled out a tray of stone pendants arranged in uncooked rice. She told me that each stone does something different emotionally, and to pick them all up one by one and to find one that felt good. And then she walked away. Okay? The red ones felt okay, I guess. The orange ones felt a little bit better. The purple ones felt stupid. The yellow ones felt like frozen TV dinners. And by the time I got to brown, I no longer remembered the question. I was just robotically picking things up and putting them back down and wondering how a stone could feel like anything besides a stone until I picked up the one that's been around my neck for the last 117 days. It's shaped sort of like a backwards D, a dull silver in most light, but bright neon blue in some, and it felt like kindergarten. It felt like oxygen and pianos and my parents' old dog's fluffy white head and the first time I ever met my baby brother in the glow of the streetlights on a warm, rainy November night. I asked the woman what it was, and she picked up a book and flipped through it and told me I was holding Moonstone, the bringer of calm and peace, often associated with emotional healing. I bought it without picking up another stone. The Moonstone has not brought me peace, because nothing can bring anyone a feeling, not a book or a song or a church or a hug. That's got to come from within you, but it has given emotion, both tangibility and a home, a physical representation of the beginning of life after fear. It hangs over my heart and it salvages the light within me like an oil rig. And it reminds me that just as reality can be complex and deviated, it can be as simple as a stone on the ground. It has proven to me that I am real and safe and weighted and so much alive that when I touch a cold and lifeless stone, it also becomes warm. And it makes me want to pass the warmth to you.
Spot on.